Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? I was just saying there, I said, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do yoga. And do you know why I'm ready to do yoga? Because I've taken my socks off. It's that kind of day, isn't it, where you need a good, that looks a little bit Christmassy, doesn't it? So if you celebrate Christmas, these are my Christmas socks. So anyway, that's no way to start a yoga class, is it? What's going on? Thank you so much for joining today. It's our last yoga class of 2024. And I just wanted to say cheers and thank you so much for joining. Even if you've just joined 10 seconds of one of my classes or you've joined quite a few, it's really lovely to have you along. And it's a real pleasure to teach for the Virtual Village Hall. They're an amazing organization. And if you have a chance, then follow all of their stuff on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, obviously, and YouTube, loads of content on there. And you can just keep coming back and looking at that content maybe over the Christmas period, because Christmas, if you do celebrate, it can be quite stressful for people. And there's times, isn't there, at Christmas where you just need to get out. And it's lovely spending time with family. I'm grinning now, but also it can be quite stressful, depending on, you know, your relationship. And you might not be doing that. You might be spending Christmas on your own because that's what you choose, or you're in different circumstances. So what I would say is, whatever you're doing over the holiday period, and when things are a little bit different and your routine is out of sync a little bit, try and practice. And it could be something that we do here. It doesn't have to be 45 minutes. It can be like 5 or 10 minutes of just a little bit of movement, or just a little bit of breath work, just to check in. There's real wisdom in just finding a seat and then just noticing what you're noticing, right? You know, I say that a lot. But I think there's a lot in that, and we just take that time out, or just go outside and go for a walk. Or you might be thinking, I know all this, Dave, you don't need to tell me. But these little gentle reminders of like simple things. So that idea that, what do they say? They say small things done consistently over time brings progress, or small things done consistently in strategic places brings progress. And for me, that's about connecting with people when I need to, right? Staying away when I need to, going outside when I need to, moving my body, checking in with my breath, eating well, drinking well. And yeah, all of those good things, right? Which sometimes we think, oh, they're really boring and I don't want to do them. But there can be a lot of joy in that wellness. So we don't have to be perfect, right? We're not looking to be perfect. We're just looking to just do the best we can, right? At any given day. And that's all we can do. So I encourage that wholeheartedly, because do you know what? You're worth it massively. So we've got Jackie and Margaret are on Facebook comments. Yeah, put some stuff on there. Let me just have a little look about these messages. And if you have a look on your feed on Facebook, if this is where you're watching it, you can see where you can know that all of the sessions here are free, but you can donate to the Royal Voluntary Service, who host the Virtual Village Hall. So if you've got a little bit of spare cash, then donate to them. And then also participate in sessions on the Royal Voluntary Service website. So, you know, you can go out and you can meet up with local groups as well. So there's so much going on, right? And, you know, voluntary responders, and yeah, it's such a great organization. So thank you to those guys. Shall we do some yoga? Yes, let's do that, Dave. All right. So this first bit, I'm tempted to finish drinking my tea though. Nice chai today. This first bit you can do in a chair, or you can do sat on the floor. I'm going to go back there. That's a new addition for this year, isn't it? My my sort of like woodland wallpaper. Ian, who's one of my yogis who comes to one of my classes, he did that for me. He's a very talented man. So I'm really happy about that. So I will have the my private chat on, which will show me my Facebook messages, and I'm going to go back there. Sit down on a chair if you want, or join me on the floor. I'm just looking around because I'm probably going to use a little cushion to sit on. This one here. Look at that. It's nice, isn't it? And yeah, make sure you're comfortable. So sitting cross-legged is not comfortable for all of us. So you might want to kind of bring your bottom onto a chair, or maybe sit up against the back of a wall, something like that. All right, that's me tea done. Let's go. Draw some length into your spine. Maybe bring your hands wherever feel good for you. And at this point, if it feels comfortable, you might close your eyes. And I should say as well, thank you so much to Natalia, who taught for me last week, who's one of my colleagues at Space to Breathe in Leicester. And she's an amazing teacher, and we're really lucky to have her. And I guess you guys were lucky to have her teaching for you all last week. We'll try and introduce a little bit more of Natalia next year. But for now, just notice. Sit in a way that feels good for you. Now, if there's little movements, I'm usually quite comfortable. So, I can drop into stillness relatively quickly, but maybe there's some little movements that go on. A little bit of movement side to side, or you might kind of shrug the shoulders a little bit. And then see if you can find that moment where the spine feels long without putting too much effort into the spine. And then, you kind of shoulder blades relax. And then you feel your head just balance on top of your spine. And with the eyes closed or the gaze soft, just notice your breath. Make this practice really gentle. Make sure, obviously, that you are warm enough and you bring as much comfort into your practice this afternoon as you feel necessary. We're not going to do anything too crazy today. It will be quite gentle, introspective. Maybe at the start here, kind of notice all the ways that you are kind to yourself or kind to other people. Maybe notice the areas where you feel you can be a little bit mean about yourself. The inner critic, as we call it, the little chirping brain that sort of tells us that we're not enough and we're not worthy. And even if it's just for this session, see if you can let those go for now. And again, even if it's just for the next half an hour or so, see if you can just send a little bit of appreciation into your practice for arriving this far and just seeing what unfolds in this very compassionate, kind, and calming space. Doesn't mean that we have to get it right, or it doesn't have to feel absolutely perfect, but this is a practice, right? That's all we're doing. We're just practicing. And then it's normal. Just see what your breath feels like. And the breath hopefully feels quite free and easeful, without kind of forcing your breath too much. Maybe take another 3 or 4 rounds of breath, no rush. And then give your fingers just a little wriggle out, and then take an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up over your head so the palms come together. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And just do that 3 more times. Inhale in, bringing the arms up. And as you do this, you maybe set an intention for your class, for your practice. Inhaling up, exhale, hands to your heart. And then one more time, inhale as the hands come up. This time as you exhale, just twist towards the right. So bring your left hand on the right knee and your right hand behind. Inhale to find length and exhale into your twist. So remember, you can do this if you're sat on a chair or, a stool or whatever feels good. And, whatever space you find yourself in, if it doesn't quite work, I encourage you to make it up. It's your practice, so you find a twist that works for you. Take one more round of breaths, a nice deep inhale. And take a full exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up nice and slow. Maybe look up towards the fingers. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. And kind of, wriggle around, move around. Really big yawn. Take one more round of breath. Nice deep inhale. Take a full exhale. Beautiful. Then you're back into the hands and separate your legs, bring the soles of the feet on the floor. And then just drop your knees to either side. Just moving gently from side to side. And we're going to come back in a moment to a little bit more breath work. And again, it'll be quite calming breath work. But I just want to do a few things here. And again, if that's on the floor, if it's in a chair, you can probably do all those things with a variation. I'm sat on a cushion today, and I probably don't want to move this cushion because it feels good. Maybe bring the other shin in front so you balance the hips out. And then we'll do a little bit of Sufi grind today. So you have the hands on the knees, inhale forward, and then exhale round. And you might kind of start really slow, and then little pelvic tilts. You kind of like begin to draw a circle. You think about the heart space in the navel, and they sort of like drive the movement. I'm not really thinking about my hands, they're just resting. And then I'm just thinking about my lower spine and my hips. Gentle movements today though. And then when you're ready, come all the way back to center and then just simply swap it out, come back the other way. Couple more complete rotations. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, let the breath go. Beautiful. A little bit of movement through your neck if you desire. So maybe again, swap your legs out, make sure you're comfortable. Have a little fidget in your chair if that feels good. And then we'll do 2 movements through the neck. So first of all, make sure your hands are nice and relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed, spine is long again. Inhale, just bring your head over towards your left shoulder. Exhale, bring your head over towards your right shoulder. So there's your movement. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. And exhale right. And if this feels okay, you're not moving too quickly. I always encourage gentle movement through the neck. You inhale, you bring your head back to center. Take a full exhale, and then maybe just drop your chin down towards your sternum and just rock your chin a little side to side. And then if you wanted to, you can begin to turn your head. Pick a direction and kind of draw circles. Maybe bring the head all the way back down and then just swap it out, come back the other way. Couple more complete rotations. Then inhale, bring your head all the way back to center. Take a full exhale. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. Take a full exhale. Beautiful, really nice. Same thing again. Bring the hands back and then just drop your knees to either side, or kind of bring your legs out. Or if you sat in a chair, kind of move your legs out in a way that feels good. And then I'm going to come a little bit closer towards the camera, just so I can read a couple of these comments that I've popped up, and we can get into a little bit of breath work. And we'll do, a good amount of breath work. Pauline's in the High Peak. I was there a few weeks ago, Pauline, doing a lovely run from Hathersage. I love it up there. Thank you for joining. All right. Again, find a nice comfortable spot. And then bring your right hand up towards your nose. Block off your right nostril with your thumb and take a deep inhale through your left nostril. Close off your left nostril with your ring finger or little finger, exhale through your right. You can tuck these fingers in so it can kind of be like this. Inhale through your right nostril. Close off the right, exhale through your left. Inhale left. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. Inhaling through the left. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. Inhaling left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Swap, exhale left. Inhaling through the left. Switch, exhale through the right. Inhale through your right. Switch it out, exhale through the left. Bring your right hand down. And just let that breath balance out. Breathe in through both nostrils or whatever is more available to you. And just notice the effects of that breath practice. And if your eyes are closed, come with your eyes open. And that one's called Nadi Shodhana. You can find it on the internet, or you can rewatch that one. But that's a really beautiful way just to kind of balance the breath out and your emotions in your body. You're like, the emotions, what do you mean? Well, think about parasympathetic nervous system, which is kind of the left side of the brain, like where we're kind of calming and we're kind of bringing balance into the body. So we want to spend more time in that parasympathetic, because that's like when we're resting, digesting. That's when the body is finding ease. And then when we spend a lot of time in our right side of our brain, which is sympathetic, that's kind of fight, flight, when we're moving and we're active, and we're probably there a little bit too much. You know, it's really hard for us to kind of switch off and for our brains to relax, and then sending the right signals to our body to then really chill out. So something like that can be a really nice balancing breath. Or if you're feeling like you need more energy, breathe just in and out through your right nostril. If you need less and you kind of want to calm down, like before you go to bed, then just breathe through your left nostril, block off your right, breathe in and out through your left nostril. And they're really simple practices to do, but they can bring a lot of wisdom. And, you know, there's a lot of, you know, I mean, those breath practices have been used for thousands and thousands of years. So I encourage you to use them. They're amazing. The yogis know, right? Hi to Irene as well, who's on Facebook. We're going to come and stand up now. So a bit of a shock to the system, probably. If you can stand, join me standing. And I'm going to move that off to one side. And then we'll just do a little bit of standing work, nothing too strenuous. So the feet about hip width apart, and you kind of separate the feet. Make sure you're in a nice comfortable position, and you've got enough room to kind of swing your arm. So you might want to kind of just open up for your right arm and then your left arm, and just make sure you've got enough room. And then just kind of bring a little bit of movement into your body. So you just might kind of just shape the body a little bit and kind of come up onto the toes or the heels, kind of just move in any way that feels good. Maybe a little swinging from side to side, kind of whatever feels good. Don't think about this too much. A little twist in action. Kind of shake the legs and kind of just bring a little bit of aliveness into the body. And then come with your feet about hip width apart and bring your right hand on your heart. Inhale, left arm to the left, and then exhale, right arm to the right. So that's your movement. So you need quite a big range of movement here. So a little bit of space. Inhale left, exhale right. You can use quite a powerful breath. So kind of the breath is in the body, and you're kind of just using the breath to kind of drive the movement. I don't mean drive as in this kind of really ambitious or energetic way, but kind of maybe a little bit more of a breath pattern. So you can hear my breath, inhaling left, exhaling right. And even though, you know, it's quite a calming practice today, it is nice to bring an appropriate amount of energy into the body, just so we're not feeling too lethargic. You know, it's nice to mix it up. And I think in the afternoons, we can feel quite tired. So this is a really nice way just to kind of bring that energy in. Maybe like 3 more times on either side. It will go ever so quickly. And then eventually come back to center. Just let the arms kind of just drop and swing. And, you know, there's not a huge amount going on here. Eventually bring the palms so they're face forward. So you're in Tadasana. Take a nice deep inhale. Take a full exhale. A couple more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then one more deep inhale. And your fullest exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up into the air. And then from here, use your right hand, have a quick look at it. Clasp it around your left wrist, take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, just draw the arms over towards the right. Inhale, back to center, swap the hands. And then exhale, draw the arms over to the left. So that's your movement. Inhale to center, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, just had my back crack a treat there. So you just kind of just move in. And, you know, if you want, you can come to one side and you might take a few breaths here. You kind of think about your hips. So you want kind of your hips to be nice and neutral. So you don't want to kind of like pull over too much. And it's not about the depth. This is more about just kind of feeling the stretch down the side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, just draw the arms to the opposite side. Breathe in deeply here. Deep inhales and full exhales. Nice. Inhale, come all the way back to center. As you exhale, bring the arms all the way back down. Nice. Beautiful. And then back into Tadasana. Just pause and breathe and maybe feel the four corners of your feet as you just sway around. So this is the standing posture that we've come back to time and time again this year. Maybe, reflect on your year, your yoga practice, all the classes that you've probably done with all the different teachers, and maybe send a little message of gratitude to the Virtual Village Hall for all the content that they've put out this year. Beautiful. Take one more round of breath. And take a full exhale. Really nice work. All right, from here, we're going to come to lie down on our backs. So we'll be here for the rest of the class. So what I suggest you do is make sure you're warm enough. So something nice to do when you lie down on your mat, you don't even need a mat, is that you can always bring like a blanket underneath your body. It's going to be a little bit shorter, the session today, but we've got a good amount of time to just find a nice comfortable position. So bring whatever you need with you. I need to grab a book and I'm going to do a little bit of reading for you. So we're going to do a nice little body scan. So when you come down onto your mat, we're not quite there yet, you might want to just hug your knees in towards your belly. And maybe just rock a little from side to side. See what the spine feels like as you come to lie down on the floor for the first time. And then we'll come into a pose called constructive rest. So you bring your feet down on the floor. And for this one, if you can, keep the knees about hip width apart. And then maybe bring your palms so they're face up, so the shoulders are relaxed. And then just notice your lower spine and just see how that feels. So hopefully with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor, you'll feel the spine just really lengthen and relax that lower part of the spine. You feel the rise and the fall of your belly, your body's at rest. They sometimes call this one advanced napping pose. It's a really beautiful place to be. Notice that there's always this place where you can come to. Whatever's going on in your life, then this can be a place of rest and ease for you. And then from here, just walk your feet a little bit wider and see if you can bring your arms out in line with your shoulders. And then just drop your knees over towards the right-hand side. And then as you do that, see if you can anchor the left shoulder blade down into the earth and maybe turn your head to the left. So nice wide leg twist. Then you might inhale, bring the knees back to center, and then just drop your knees over to the other side. And maybe look down your right arm. Close the eyes if that feels good. Then inhale, bring the knees back to center, and then maybe just kind of move with the breath. For me, it works where I inhale to center and I exhale to one side. Inhale back to center, exhale to the other side. Maybe another 3 or 4 rounds like that. Nice and gentle. And then eventually bring the knees all the way back to center. You can lift the soles of the feet off the floor and then bring the knees back in towards your belly and maybe squeeze the knees in a little bit more. How does that feel? And then set yourself up in a Shavasana. So you're going to bring the legs long probably. For this moment, I would bring a blanket over the body or something really comfortable. Remember, if this doesn't feel good in the spine, then you can always bring your knees back down, your feet back down and your knees bent, so you can always stay here. But what I would encourage you to do is just to, find as much ease in your practice as you can. And I'm going to sit and just do a little body scan with you, and that's where we'll finish the classes for this year. Hopefully it'll work for you. So kind of bring those little movements in that feel good. So this is our, time to relax. This is your time to rest your body at the end of what has probably been a busy year for you. And, as you rest your body here, there's that idea that we become, stronger and healthier. In this book says time for the little death of Shavasana. And as always, this is symbolizing the end of our practice. A natural completion in the journey you've been on this afternoon. Just a small journey, but maybe your journey obviously has been a lot longer. That idea that it's not uncommon for you to fall asleep here, and falling asleep's okay. And that idea here that Shavasana, where you find yourself now, it's not just a time to relax your body, it's a time to quiet the mind. But even though the body is relaxed, you're still aware of the mind and the body, that kind of flow of energy between the two. As you actively relax here, then watch the flow of your energy. The Chinese would call it qi, and the Indian tradition of yoga would call it prana. And you're thinking about that into the areas that you've worked on in your physical practice. So we've worked quite a lot into the hips today, and we've swung open and we've twisted quite a lot. Notice your breath within your body and see if you can let your breath just relax completely. You kind of let go of holding onto your breath or watching your breath. And then from here, just scan your body slowly. And start with your toes and your feet. And see if you can allow your feet to relax. And maybe feel them becoming really heavy on the floor. And allow your awareness to rise up to the ankles and your calves and your shins. And feel them melting into the earth. Not idea that there's no effort needed here. You're just kind of letting things melt. Feel the space in the knee joints. Maybe you move slower, higher, and then you relax your thighs. And you feel them becoming heavy and warm and soft. And then you notice your buttocks and your hips and your groin relaxing, and they too become soft and warm. Maybe you linger a little bit in the hips, the lower spine, lower back. That's where we've done a little bit of work today. Maybe you feel the openness, the flow of energy through your hips. Now allow your awareness to come to your tailbone, right at the bottom of your spine, and feel your sacrum in your lower back release into the floor. You might already feel that. I've worked on that a little bit today. Feel your lower back and stomach muscles just relax completely. And then allow this sensation to rise up your spine. And feel each vertebra. And maybe you feel kind of like, the space in between each one, the alignment of your back. And then you allow your upper back muscles and the shoulder blades to sink into the floor. And you relax your chest and all the muscles between the ribs. And now you come to your shoulders. And we carry a lot of tension here, don't we? So see if you can let all the tension leave your body. Let your shoulders release completely. And maybe spend an extra moment here and really soften and feel the weight of the shoulders sink into the earth. And see if you can allow this sensation to flow. Maybe it's softness down into the upper arms and the elbows and the forearms. And you feel the space in the wrist joints, and you feel the space around each finger and the energy in the palm of each hand. And you bring awareness to your neck and your throat, and you release all tension there. And see if you can relax your jaw. Again, one of those areas where we sort of feel that tension. And it might be somewhere more subtle, like your lips and your tongue, and you relax your cheeks and your eyes. And then you think about all the muscles around the eyes and deep in the eye sockets and up to your forehead, your scalp, and you allow your head to rest heavily on the floor. And then something a little bit more internal, see if you can relax your organs, your inner organs, bring your awareness to your reproductive organs and either feel or imagine them relaxing, and relax your prostate if you have one, and then your intestines and your kidneys, and imagine your liver and your stomach and your spleen and everything being filled with healing energies, and soften your diaphragm and your lungs. And see if you can relax your heart. Maybe you place your hand on your heart. Let your heart become open and vast and undefended and smiling. And see if you can release your breath totally at the end here. And just let your breath be whatever it wants to be. Maybe you come back to noticing the breath and become aware of the short pauses between each breath. And relax your mind and notice that the moments between each breath is the moment between thoughts. And enjoy these moments of complete silence and peace, and find this sense of peace growing deeper. And let this feeling of peace fill you, and let it fill the space around you, and let peace fill the room and beyond, and it touches everyone and everything. And as you come out, and I encourage you to do that really slowly, allow your breath to be a little deeper and longer. And then as normal, you kind of just bring some movements into your body. And for me, it's nice to start with your fingers and then your toes, and then you might come back to your ankles and then your wrists. And when you feel ready, you might just hug your knees to your chest. And you might take a deep inhalation, and on the exhalation, maybe bring your head and your knees together and squeeze. And then eventually we'll meet each other in a seated position. Beautiful. Thank you, Jude, for saying hi. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. Do that nice and slowly. And just notice the effects of your practice like we normally do together. And again, thank yourself for showing up. And as I say, for any amount of time you've spent with each other on the Virtual Village Hall this year, then send in love and peace and healing energies if you need that. And with that in mind, see if you can wish yourself well and wish everybody else well. And maybe a little humble bow down to your fingers, and you can say namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. Hopefully it did the trick, and we will return next year, and we'll, in January, probably start a little bit more energetic, but we'll take it slowly, you know. I'm not saying that we'll do anything too energetic, but, you know, maybe look back at sun salutations, and maybe we'll do a little bit of intention setting at the start of the year. Nothing too serious, but, you know, we can kind of look at that stuff. And as I said at the start, thank you so much, and have a great break. There will be another class on the, what is it? Next week. What is next week? I don't even know what date it is. Thursday. Is that Christmas Day? No, it's the 26th, isn't it? Anyway, there's a recorded class coming up anyway. So there'll be a repeat. And then we're back properly scheduled second week in January, I think. Something like that. But keep an eye out on Facebook and all the socials. Instagram, remember. And TikTok. TikTok, everyone. Wow. All right, everyone. Have a great break. And I'll see you all soon. Love you loads. Thank you to everyone. Namaste.